Raheem Mostert is feeling good again, and that's more than just good news for the Miami Dolphins, it's everything. Mostert had been dealing with a chest injury from the season opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but he fought his way back into the lineup. And man, was that a relief. Last Sunday, the Dolphins finally snapped a 3-game losing streak with a gritty 15-10 win over the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. Mostert was right there, helping to grind out those tough yards. Talking to the media after their only practice during the bye week, Mostert made it clear that he's back on track. Cardio is good, rehab is good. I've been feeling a lot better. I'm game ready, he said, and you can just feel the determination in his voice. After missing some time, he was eased back into action with a pitch count against the Patriots. But things don't always go as planned, do they? Fellow running back Devon Achane went down with a concussion, and suddenly Mostert's role got bigger. And comes rookie Jalen Wright, stepping up when his team needed him most, leading in rushing yards. But Mostert? He ended up with 19 carries for 80 yards, playing 44 snaps. You've got to appreciate the grind. For a guy coming back from an injury, that's no small feat. But let's talk about the real obstacle that Mostert had to overcome. It wasn't just about getting back into game shape, it was about taking that first hit. Mostert admitted his biggest concern was getting tackled and making sure he could breathe without pain. After all, that chest injury wasn't something to take lightly. He said, "I played about 65% of the game. Still trying to work in and try to get those hits. That was my main concern, was getting hit and seeing how this bad boy does. I did good, I felt like I did a decent job coming back." It wasn't about surprise, he knew he was ready. But the relief, that feeling of confidence when you finally get hit and realize you're good to go, that's huge. He wasn't just playing, he was testing himself out there, making sure his body could handle it. It felt good to get a couple of hits early on, he said. Mostert knows where he is physically and mentally now. He's right where he wants to be, and that's dangerous for the Colts, who are next on the schedule after the bye. He's not taking his foot off the gas either. He's going to keep working during the break, pushing himself to be even better. He also made sure to give credit where it's due. Mostert was thrilled with the effort from his fellow running backs and the offensive line, who put on a clinic in that game. The Dolphins ran for a season-high 193 yards, averaging an impressive 4.7 yards per carry. That's what sets the tone for this offense, and Mostert knows it. It's comforting to know we were getting those types of runs. And then being able to utilize the run game the way we did, he said. It's just going to open up more doors for everything else. I feel like once you establish the line of scrimmage, everything else will take care of itself, and that's what we have to do. What the Dolphins did last Sunday wasn't flashy, but it worked. They finally found some rhythm, even if it didn't fully show on the scoreboard. Tyler Huntley, making his second start since joining the team, managed to keep things moving. Miami racked up 372 yards and picked up 24 first downs, a season high. And it wasn't anything complicated. The Dolphins stuck to the basics, running the ball 41 times and connecting on short, manageable passes to keep the chains moving. Mostert summed it up perfectly when he said, "We're just trying to get back to the basics and the understanding of the offense, and I think this past game definitely showed that." The Dolphins weren't doing anything fancy, just sticking to what works. Running the ball, pounding the defense, and taking advantage of those little openings that come from keeping the defense on its heels. The last time Miami ran the ball over 40 times in a game? That unforgettable 70-20 beatdown of the Denver Broncos back in Week 3 of 2023. This time, they stuck to the ground game even though they were trailing for most of the game. And in the end, it paid off. The New England defense softened up, and Mostert and Wright took over, barreling down the field on a 15-play, game-winning drive. With the Colts up next, and the league's second-worst rushing defense, this ground game could be primed for another big day. Mostert knows the formula. Establish the run, win at the line of scrimmage, and everything else will follow.